Hello and welcome back. Polius here for episode 1 of Let's Play Warsong. Alright, and we're going to start a new game. Let me go ahead and read this first, because, some people might just be listening. Chapter 1, Escape from the Castle. Legendary sword, Warsong, was said to give its possessor magical power, but now, regarded as sacred, it was hidden deep in Castle Baltia. Win condition, win Garrett's escape. Lose condition, death of Garrett. Now, I've got my mouse hidden so I can't really show you all of the, I can't point at it, but you notice that below that we have player. We've got a little symbol of a guy in armor with ×2. That means that we have 2 captains that we command. Below that our friend, and then it shows all the allied units that we can't control but aren't trying to kill us. The other side you see all the people who are trying to kill us, and we are outnumbered. Well, it doesn't look like it, but when you take into account the greater effectiveness of, say, fire elementals against the guys with sticks that we're going to be using, we're outnumbered. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to try keeping these within 30 minutes, maybe 20 or so as I get the feel for it, because my voice is probably going to get raw from talking this much. Oh, here we go. Here's a map of the area. So there's Castle Baltia surrounding it. We're going to have to go down that road on the far left. Now, what's common practice... Oh, one second. Let's do this. So, this is what separates this game from Fire Emblem, is instead of having just items that you can... Oh, sorry about that. Instead of having just items that you can equip, you have soldiers, which actually add to your experience. They're not entirely useless. Right now we have Garrett, our main character, can only have soldiers. And I'm going to select a whole bunch of them, because he's going to need them. He is our main character throughout the entire game, and we want him to get leveled quickly. Now, on the stats there, you've got attack, defense, which are self-explanatory, MP being the magic points. He has no magic available, and then move. He has 6 points of movement, which is affected by terrain. Level 1, rank is fighter, which is the most basic form of captain in the game. Now, range, that doesn't mean attack range, that means command range, and I'll show you what that means in-game. And revision applies to that. Any of his units, those 8 soldiers I gave him, within that range are affected by that. They get +2 attack, +2 defense. So, not bad, but, it's a tenth of what his stats actually are. Now this guy, Baldarov, he's got a whole bunch more units, and he's level 9. He's actually technically, level 29, because he's gotten to, he's a 3rd tier class, which means he's gotten to level 10 as, say, like a fighter, ranked up, and brings him back down to level 1. He's gotten to level 10 again, ranked up, and then got to level 9. At least that's how I assume the Swordmaster class works. He's the only guy who can be a Swordmaster. Now his stats aren't much better, but something about him, he's just part of it is, look at his revision, +9 defense for his combat units. But he doesn't gain experience. Anyone who's played Fire Emblem knows there's always that one character who's really powerful to help you win, but, it's kind of a waste. It's a waste of experience. So, this guy is going to be our meat shield, but we're going to try very hard not to let him kill anyone. And I don't have enough money to give him soldiers, which is fine, because we don't want him to kill anyone. Now, there are no items. I'm actually trying to select item, and I can't, so we're just going to start. Alright, now you see we've got the start positions here. There's the little crosses, which allow me to select where they're starting. And I'm going to put Garrett closer to the left, and Sir Baldarov right next to him. And end the turn. Maybe Baldarov is rank 3. Now you see it's populating all of the units. Oh god. I would love to be able to do voices for the girls, but... it's King Alphador. The castle is surrounded by the enemy. Garrett, you should try to escape to Selras. Our friend Carleon is there. Father, I cannot leave you to fight alone. You must leave and gather more troops. We will be all right, liar. Your Highness, the enemy has started to move. Baldarov, go with Garrett and guard him. I swear to protect him with my life. We will protect the castle. Hurry, you must leave soon. There is no time to waste. Go, now! Now, I mentioned the range. You see how there's that kind of slightly blue outline around Garrett? That is actually the range of the bonus. If his soldiers are outside of that, they're terrible. So we want to keep them close, both to protect Garrett and to make them more effective. Now, the way the game is supposed to be played, you're supposed to run there over there as quickly as you can to that square. I don't remember how we're supposed to know which square it is, actually. Try selecting that. Let's check winning condition real quick. Nope. Check full-size map. No, I actually have no idea how we know, and I'm going to be looking that up. But now it's actually possible to fight these guys. But I mean, like, look at the stats of these things. They have as much attack as Garrett, and way more defense, which means that we're not actually going to be able to beat them. And Sabra here and her soldiers, they're just going to get annihilated. So at the most, I'm going to try wiping these guys out, and I'm going to be trying to maybe take some of these guys out, but we'll see what we can do. This guy here, he's not going to be terribly useful. He's alright, but he's a knight, and the rock, paper, scissors of the game. Archers beat knights, who beat infantry, who beat archers. So his mermen are just terrible. They've got plenty of attack but no defense, and against archers, that means they're going to get shot down before they do anything. So now they're really good in water, but yeah, they still can't do much. Anyway, so we're going to move our soldiers and actually put one up here. You'll notice there's on the bottom left, there's actually a defense bonus he gets, 40% combat bonus. I don't know if it's just defense, but either way, that's significant. So move Garrett. Get out of my way, merman. I don't think I can move him right there. It's 1, 2, 3 now. So move him here. Now for the soldiers in the back, I can afford to have them, well out of range. But otherwise, is that one mine? No, that's one of the kings. How many soldiers does King Beardy have? Oh, on that note, King Alphador is a fantastic unit. He could actually probably, maybe if not kill these guys in the bottom here, tank them out. So there actually is not a huge rush to get out of dodge here. But I mean, it's kind of still feels that way, as if the enemy decides that he's too much trouble, they will go. I've seen them go after our guys. That said, the AI can be fairly predictable in this game. No, I don't want to. I want you to go over there. Thank you. So, he has 2 guys. One of them is actually outside of the throne room. That's a terrible guard. Anyway, so that's my turn. You can always... That's enemy unit. You can always end your turn early by pressing start, and then clicking end of phase, which is on the other side. Oh. Right, so we've got the merman. Now I love these little battle scenes. You see, I mean, they're just getting shot down. They're not even actually doing all that much damage, because I say that, it is like 3 guys took out 4 people, so they're not bad. But now watch this. Now they don't have that big defense bonus. Had there been more archers can only do 1 attack per person. I'm not sure how many the melee guys can do. I've seen them persistently beat on someone like far longer than they should have to be able to get that 1 kill. So I said the mermaids are useless, and they're actually not doing super bad here. Alright, we've got Sabra, and she's just bad. We'll get to command her later, and it'll be a concerted effort to level her up, but she gets a really cool class. It's not the best class in the game, but Dragon Knight gets to have griffins for their soldiers, and you know what? That's just cool. Now, the experience that she's getting, is that she got a little tick in her experience bar on the right. Now I'll point it out. Oh, come on, why would you do that? Ah, one of them survived. So that little experience bar actually is persistent. If she levels up, when we get her later, she will be level 5. So, alright. Now the fireball, you can see how there's a slightly highlighted part, so it actually the firebolt hit all of the people in that area, which is kind of just a small plus. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do. Alright. After enemy turn, I'll talk about command and whatnot. Anyway. So that guy, yeah, it's just gonna wipe out. Now the enemy gets experience too, and I'm not entirely sure what level up affects. I believe it affects success rate. Like, it seems to affect an invisible stat, one that I've seen affect the game, but I've not actually seen available as a stat you can look at, which is actually fairly common for these older games. Not a bad thing, but I think we've much improved with better interfaces. God, I love the music in this game. It's not, you know, it's no Mozart, but good lord, is it awesome. Now, if the enemy is at 7 or lower, they will always retreat and try to heal. Like, literally always. There's nothing else they'll do. Which is really exploitable. I don't know how well I'll exploit it, but I certainly will try. So we're just watching these mermen get annihilated. Fortunately, like I said, archers lose out to real soldiers. Not, you know, mermaids with fancy hats. So, come my turn, especially that archer on the wall, yeah, it's going to be, you know, free range time. Now, those fire elementals can actually move much faster, but than their commander, but they'll stick around and stick with the commander. All right, now the matchup over here, the orange armored guys are called guardsmen. They're not great, but they actually have a bonus against lizardmen. Mostly. Calais is actually a weaker class, and yeah, I call the blue-haired girl Calais. Up, more text. See that each commander oversees the treatment of their injured troops. Yes, Your Highness. Also, if any commander is injured, see that they receive treatment. Yes, I understand. Don't get yourself killed. Not a chance. Prince, we should be going now. Yes, I'm coming. They actually do have dialogue for if you kill all the enemies, then basically it's, oh, good job, we did it, but more are coming. Now you win the scenario, but you get out of there. Anyway, now any basic soldier unit near their commander will get healed. I missed it. It was like 2 or 3 points. I think 3. Which is why these guys will tend to retreat around their commander when they're injured. Your commander has, you know, on top of magic, they have the treat command, which lets them heal up to 3 points, but that's their turn. They can't move, they got no movement, they got no attack, they got nothing. Now this actually affects how the automated movement of your units go. For example, if I've set it to move, so how it's kind of that spread out position. Look over here. See the spread out look that these guys have, or even the fire elementals? That's what it looks like a move. They kind of have this, they fan out to cover a wider area as they're moving. I don't want to click treat. Defense, they will cluster closer together, which is better if you're trying to keep a guy from being killed. Attack, I think it's the wider fan out, but they also will automatically attack anyone nearby. And then manual, if you haven't given them a command, they will not do anything. I'm going to select defense just in case I forget, and for Baldarov it doesn't matter. Anyway, now, since the enemy is in range, I'm going to attack. And this is the first attack of the game, an auspicious moment. Huzzah! Now, since those guys aren't in range, you know, they can't close to melee, they'll throw spears. And, you know, attacking guys who are in armor and water is just a fantastic strategy in general. Oh boy. This is going to be rough. Because these guys are going to die. That one's going to retreat next to Tiburon. So what I need to do is 2, 3. So I want one guy up here on the wall. I want to make it harder for the enemy to attack. And 1, 2, 3. That's awful. You know what? They'll be on the wall. It'll be easier to defend them. I'll go ahead and move Garrett closer so that he can heal that soldier next turn. I don't want to have Garrett attack just yet. It's kind of one of those things you don't want to commit too early with your best stuff. So, we'll play a bit more conservatively. Now, one thing that I really don't like is that's a 15% defense bonus, that's a 10%. So that guy's probably going to move away, and it's going to leave my people slightly open. But I really need the experience, especially later on. This is not an easy game, and in order to, complete the game as, in order to complete the game, you do need to play a bit smarter than I used to when I was, say, 8 years old. So, we're going to give this a try. Is there anything else I was thinking of saying? Not that I can think of. Alright, so end phase. Just check time. 15 minutes already. Wow. Yes, go, you brave lemmings, for great justice. This is our last chance. Don't let them through. And, yeah, she's not going to do bad against the basic soldier units. I mean, she shoots fire from her sword. That is pretty effective. Now that fireball is going to kill the lizard men right there, which actually gave Calais experience. I pledge my life to defend the Baltia Empire. You're making good on that pledge, aren't you? Oh, I feel terrible for laughing about that. But, yeah, no, those guardsmen aren't very good, because that Serpent Knight counts as a knight, and the guardsman counts as infantry, so... Now, you notice Sabra actually is entirely out of soldiers already. Fortunately, she's not the worst. Okay, no, she's not the worst. We'll get the worst in a few missions, maybe next mission, I don't exactly remember, but she's in trouble. Now, if she dies in this mission, you don't lose out on her forever, but if like, say, Baldarov died, I would never get to use him for the rest of the game. Oh, that was a nice shot. And so the game again is like, I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to Fire Emblem because, I mean, it's very similar, though I do like that you have little army people and it's not just your few guys inexplicably winning an empire. Oh, those guys are out of range. But you see, the defensive bonus is pretty significant. It basically makes up for the fact that I don't have Garrett. Actually, no, it more than makes up for the fact that I don't have Garrett there. I don't need to move that guy back next to Garrett though, because yeah, he just got hurt. He got hurt bad. Yes, throw yourselves at the walls. Some of the best archers I've ever seen. Swimming while shooting arrows. Step away, Mongol hordes. We've got the new best archers in the world. Well, they are dark elves. Silliest thing ever in D&D is a feat that lets your elves shoot arrows with, well, their feet. And I'll try not to make too many tangential references to D&D. Alright, see, he was at below 7 health, or is it at below 8 health. So he treated instead of did anything else. Which, I mean, it's smart. However, then you'll get situations where, they're just doing nothing, but they're at 8 health, but they refuse to treat because, hey man, I'm not at 7, I don't need that crap. Well, yeah, it's... Okay, this is... I can't let you go any further. Oh, yeah? I'm going to be pronouncing her name Calais, just because it looks, it looks French, and, I've just been listening to the History of England podcast, which has, the 100 Years' War and, Pont de Calais, all that. So, I'm sure there'll be plenty of arguments about which pronunciations are right. Anyway, we've got a fairly surefire attack right here to make. Ah, flawless. This is probably overkill, but there's no kill like overkill. I'd love to make an attack against this guy. And is it actually possible? Probably for the best that it isn't, because I would totally make that attack. Alright, you need to move next to Garrett. Oh, perfect. So I can cycle this guy back here. He can take care of himself. I'm not going to attack that guy. I feel like, I said that they'll tend to retreat when they're at 7. Sometimes it appears they don't. I know that the commanders will always heal themselves. That's literally just coded into the game. So instead I'm going to make sure I wipe a unit out. Oh, silly me. Class, would anyone like to guess what Polius forgot to do? I'll be making a few of those mistakes. I am sorry that if I do that. Like I said, I'm not the best at this game. I'm playing it because, you know, someone's got to finish it. It's a game that deserves to be finished. Alright, now, you'll notice there's a 0% defense bonus on the bridge, 15% here, so I absolutely must secure this ground. And since I have... since I have the advantage... And that's sometimes probably for the best. Nah, it's sometimes for the best if you're defending, not to kill them outright, because then the enemy will attack you again. No, I can't. And you know, going out here and hitting at the 0 defense line would not have been advantageous. So what do I want to do? One thing that I've seen people do is actually move Garrett south to help against the Lizardmen, because Tiburon just is hopeless. This is a Crocodile Knight, as awesome as that sounds, is not great. Now, I could move Garrett, but I need this guy healed up. Hopefully next turn Tiburon will move, because this is prime real estate right here. Well, so is that. And it'll allow me some more flexibility. Anyway, I'm going to actually just move these guys, set them in place, because I don't want them shifting around Garrett at all. I'm going to move Baldarov... Actually, I'm going to move Baldarov right here, so that they can't seize the high ground right there, and even the fight out a little bit. Should have done the same thing with that soldier. But, what's done is done. I'm not going to be safe scumming. I might actually, as I think about it, see, she's at 7, so she treated. She's at 6, so she treated. I think I might actually use save states just in case something happens, like, maybe not with the recording, but if like if I'm like really close to ending and then something terrible happens, I don't know if I want to have to do the whole thing on camera again, or I might just play it all off camera so that it does become like a 7-part episode. Some of these missions are not short, and I'm thinking about the 30-minute time limit, as that might make each battle 2 parts or even 3 parts. Well, we'll see. He's retreating. I'd love to be able to hit him, but the walls are actually... It's hard to move on the walls. That guy needs to pull back. So will that guy. And this game really is about... see how long... He was persistent right there. He was very persistent. This game, in a large way, is very much a matter of persistence. You don't want to... You want to play the part of the unstoppable, the immovable object less than the unstoppable force. Though I do really want to get further away from the elementals so they don't decide to attack me, because watch this. I mean, part of it is, she's doing a ground-based attack against something that's flying. Stands to reason that wouldn't be terribly effective, but I'm actually not entirely sure that that affects how... Oh, where's he going? Oh god, if I lose the first video here, I will be kind of disappointed in myself. Just a little bit. I cannot reach him. Alright. Oh, no, I want to attack. Now you can move and then attack. It's kind of deceptive that way, to say that you can't, to make it look like you can't. But I assure you that it is entirely possible. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this soldier right here. And I think I'm going to have to attack without the command bonus. I should be fine. They're only getting 5 shots, and they're going to be at a... Yeah. Yeah, that was fine. And I'm going to place Garrett right here. Unfortunately, I can't get that guy healed. Not on this turn, so I'm going to move him back. I'm going to attack with this unit. Oh, fantastic work, gentlemen. Now the question is, do I want to extend? I think... yeah, I want to wipe that guy out. It's interesting because it's actually, you're just as bad on the bridge as you are in the water. It's not like you have a penalty for action in the water. It's just that you don't have a bonus. Move. Alright. I guess... yeah, I'll leave him right here just because I don't... yeah, that gives me some more mobility. That guy's going to be healed... that guy will be healed to full because it doesn't look like there's much of a way for the enemy to engage. The merman might take this guy out, which I'm not terribly happy about. What levels? Here it's almost level 2. So I haven't been doing badly. Looking at time. We've got a few more turns, or a few more minutes. End phase. Yep. Which... I should have thought about that. What's behind him? Oh, Tiburon. And she should technically probably be retreating, but she insisted on well, treating. She might wipe those guys out. Oh, so close. Oh well, they'll be wiped out next turn. That went well. Those mermen are just gonna get... well, they got... well, they're at 50%, so that means they're actually at 12 defense, so... I'm not sure what the math works out. That would be an interesting thing to find out. But at the same time, that guy's a bishop, and he has a super fireball attack that, as you can see, is just crazy. And that's another thing the AI will insist on doing. If they have MP, they will use magic attacks at something in range, which is another exploitable aspect of the game. Oh dear. Now, hopefully this means that Calais will move over to the west and help defend me. Now, it looks like we're about running up on time here. This has been a lot of fun. I do hope to do this again. So, I will see you in the next video, part 2, where we continue to try and break out of the castle. And this has been Polius, signing off.